Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I'm the Green Stitcher here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. And welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and welcome if you're new on this channel. I hope you'll enjoy this video and decide to like it and subscribe and stay and watch my other videos. Today is Saturday, February the 1st, and I would like to share with you my January stitchy update. So I haven't filmed a Flosstube update since about the middle of December, but you have seen the last 2 weeks of December, December's worth of stitching in the whip and finish parade that I filmed at the beginning of the month. So if you haven't seen those yet, I'll insert links to them here so you can go and watch those. Today is going to be all about my January stitching, which has been quite productive, unexpectedly and to my own surprise. I will be showing you quite a lot of haul just because at the end of the year a few of my orders came through from wherever I've got them from. I got some Christmas gifts from friends and family, got some stuff for myself, some of the January purchases as well, so there'll be a bit of that later in the video, but I'll put a timestamp if you want to skip that. I will also probably talk to you closer to the end as well about things that I've been up to, if I've been, watching, playing and reading anything. Yeah, I think that's going to be that. Yeah, it's a bit of a gloomy day again here in Nottingham, so extra lights, and like always, I'm hoping you'll be able to see things a bit better. So let's probably start with a few words about my stitchy mood in January. You might have heard me say that I spent the first week of January FFOing my finishes from the previous year. I fell ill on Christmas and I was off for a week, as in I was off anyways, but I was out of everything. I couldn't stitch much, I couldn't play video games. So I had to kind of postpone some of the FFOing I wanted to do for the 2024 finishes into January, and then after that I had made plans, as you again might have heard in my video about all of the whips I've taken with me into the new year, that I've got quite a strict plan for the next 4 months, and that I'm planning to finish a few things in April, and so I had a specific number of stitches I needed to do to achieve that. There's some stuff going on as well, like life, family wise, so those plans have changed about 5 times in January, from yes, I'm going to follow my plans, to I'm abandoning everything and only working on one of those whips, to finish it by March 1st, to then back to I'm following my plans, to then again I'm not following any plans and just stitching whatever I want, and back to being on track. And somehow throughout all of this I managed to achieve all of my goals for January, which was absolutely amazing and unbelievable even to myself. And I even managed to get some extra stitching done. It was probably mostly like I said, the last 3 weeks of January, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun stitching, and I feel like we might be on the right track with this short-term planning for me, but we'll see. So just to refresh your memory, I'll be sort of, while I'm showing you the whips that I worked on this month, I'll also talk to you about the plans I made for them. And I had 3 starts this month as well, which again, all spontaneous, all unexpected, even to myself. But yeah, one of them even became a finish and an FFO. Let's actually start with that. So the other day I was going through my Mill Hill stash and a few sort of similar kits to Mill Hill. I've got a box that sits behind me here on my shelves, and I've decided to just sort of reorganize it, see what I have, what I don't have. I was placing some orders as well, so it was really insightful and helpful. I have forgotten about a lot of my Mill Hill kits and about the fact that I have this many. I love them. I love stitching them. The combination of flosses and beads is one of my favorites. And I got really annoyed at myself that I haven't been stitching much of Mill Hill. You might have seen I've had a few in my 2024 finish parade, but I feel like I could have had so many more, especially because I have so many tiny ones that take, you know, a few hours only. So I've decided to start tackling that pile of Mill Hills, and I started with a recent gift that my friend Masha from Belarus got me, and this was Moonbeam. It is one of the vintage Mill Hill kits that is fully beaded, and she gave it to me as a gift for my birthday. I love black cats and I have two of my own, and I was so excited to get it and stitch it as well. I've also mentioned this before. I play video games, and one particular one, Witcher 3, is my absolute favorite, but I also managed to stitch these little designs while playing Witcher 3, especially in like longer quests with a lot of dialogue. So I while they're talking and I'm listening, I stitch these little beaded thingies. So it's, like I said, fully beaded. The yellow beads are really lovely, but they're very, very uneven. And so when you start stitching, they are quite, I don't know if you'll be able to see from here, they're quite, yeah, you can see they're not very even. And then I think in one of the spots I even had to skip one or two to make them fit on the perforated paper. So I've used everything from the kit. I think it's like an ecru perforated paper, Mill Hill beads, and then they provide DMC flosses for you to sew the beads on, which is what I used for this. So very quick and easy. I think I did it in like an evening and another hour on another day, and I FFO'd it with some felt on the back and a magnet from a different kit. This one had the pin backing, I think, but I wanted to put it on my needle minder board, which you can see there in the corner behind me. And yeah, absolutely love it. There's only about 400 beads in this, so it was nice and easy to do. And the cat has a tiny little like collar thing in front of him on his neck. Adorable. Love it. Moonbeam is adorable. So I started working on working through my Mill Hill collection. Let's talk about the other two starts then while we're at it, and then we'll get into whips. So one of the things that happened in December, but I unfortunately only found out in January, or I think maybe at the end of the year, is that unfortunately a wonderful designer that I love, and I have stitched quite a few designs of hers, Brooke Nolan, passed away in December after fighting, after battling cancer for a lot of years. And the Etsy store that her husband couldn't inherit is now unfortunately closed. I was lucky enough to have purchased a few of the patterns that I wanted to do of hers a while back, and I'll actually show you one. I think I've shown her before, but she's just such a beauty. I always love to share her stitch tabs. So this is one of her designs, the Spirit of the Angel of Christmas, I believe, and she's this absolutely stunning lady with some stitching accessories. She's got a hoop, she's got some flosses in the basket, the classical golden stork scissors. I stitched it a few years back, and I used all of the called for colors of flosses and Krynics in the stitching itself. The only thing I did is I stitched everything on brown perforated paper, and when I was FFOing it and making the ribbons and things in her hands, I used other types of Krynic for it because I didn't have the, you know, the size 16 or 32 for that. But yeah, she's lovely. And there's a tiny little sampler that goes with her as well. I think there's a little elf gnome thing, but I didn't quite like that, so I just stitched a little cardinal sampler that says peace on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I absolutely love them. Every December 1st they come out of storage and they decorate my stitchy space, and I absolutely love them. So once I found out she passed away, me and my friend Masha, who loves her designs very much as well, and she stitched a few of hers as well, we've decided to dedicate some time in January to have a Brooks book start each to honor her craft, to honor her talent. And I had already stitched one of the seasonal witches from the Seasonal Witches series. I have the whole series, luckily, and that was the autumn one. And I thought, if we're starting one in January, in winter, I mean, I should probably start the winter one. So I'll insert the picture here. I started Wendy the Winter Witch, and this is the progress I have for now. So she is, like I said, one of the witches which are smaller than the spirits, size-wise. I think they're slightly, they use slightly fewer specialty materials as well. I am stitching her on white 14 count perforated paper by Mill Hill that I had in stash. I am stitching her with all of the stash colors, so I swapped some of the called for Krynics for the ones that were a closer match for my stash. And yeah, I'm using beads from stash as well, so this, no matter that it was a start this year, I had the pattern in stash, I had all of the materials in stash, so it very much falls under the Stitch from Stash 2025 sale that Rosie from Rosie in the Rockies is hosting this year. So I was really glad that I could, that I had purchased a few and that I could, go and start one to honor Brooke. As far as I know, the website is still working. You can't purchase things on there because I think it was only selling physical copies, but you can go and download the freebies and she had quite a few there, and they are beautiful. There's a lovely crafter's alphabet there that I am thinking of maybe stitching someday. So yeah, this is Wendy. I managed to make quite a lot of progress on her. You can see her gorgeous blue hair with a periwinkle bluish purple Krynic, and I think I've managed to stitch 900 stitches on her, which was great. I will gladly go on working on her, and hopefully you'll see me finish her quite soon. Maybe not in February. We'll talk about plans after we talk about whips. But yeah, I was super excited about working on her. She's beautiful. Like I said, I'd already stitched the Autumn Witch, and so I was really excited. And the last start I had in January was a spontaneous purchase. I'll show you the rest of them in my haul, but I got quite lucky and found someone on Facebook who was selling a pack of what are they called? Paper, hard copy, right? Paper patterns by Barbara Anna, and this is the one I decided to start. It's called Santa's Flight. I have been fascinated and delighted by these lovely tiny Santas riding birds and animals, and I've been meaning to buy some of them and stitch them anyways, and then I found this lot on Facebook and I was so excited. So this one calls for a sea lily linen from Witchelt. I do have a piece of sea lily and mine doesn't look anything like this. It might have been quite an old pattern. Maybe sea lily did look like this at some point. Mine is very green. So I had a look through my stash. This is all stitched in DMC, by the way, which is fantastic. I had a look through my stash and I feel like found the perfect piece for it. Again, made quite a lot of progress already. I had a long skinny piece left from my long dog sampler, and I have been eyeing another pattern of hers for a while that perfectly goes as a companion piece with this one. Again, I'll show you in in haul, but the leftover piece of fabric was perfectly fitting for those two. So I started this on Picture This Plus 32 count linen in color Dawn. No, sorry, Dawn is a darker one. This is Loch, Loch. It's obviously mottled and it's a bit darker than the one suggested on the front picture, but I feel like the front is quite washed out anyways, the preview, and all of the colors are much brighter in real life. Maybe because I'm stitching 2/2 on 32 count, and you know, Picture This Plus is quite tight, so. But yeah, I love this fabric. The most important thing for me was to make sure the color of the leaves doesn't get lost, and I feel like it doesn't. It looks like these lovely frosted over leaves. So you can see the eye of the bird, the Santa. I think Santa is completely stitched, even his shoes, but the bird is not. And some of the snow under the houses is not either. So again, had a very good progress on this, and I think it's about 900 stitches as well as the Winter Witch. And I've hidden away the extra fabric, but like I said, on the same piece, I will be stitching a companion piece to this. Absolutely love this. I love her combination of colors, and I thought that, you know, blue and yellow is a classic and it would look so good together. And I love that she uses 3371 as kind of the darkest color in the palette, and I have quite a lot of it because I love stitching her designs, but I haven't actually in a while, so I was really excited to kind of rediscover her for myself. And like I said, I'll show you what else I got of hers in my haul section. It lives in this bag for now, which is the Japanese garden or waves or forest, and it's a bit of a mess, but I've put some of the colors in there. This is a project that I stitch on the sofa downstairs, sometimes up here, sometimes I take it somewhere with me. So yeah, it would be great to finish it in February. It's a tiny one, and that would mean I could, you know, give away my copy of the pattern as well. So yeah, those were my 3 January starts. And like I said, somehow, even though I had a few starts, I managed to make quite lovely progress on my whips. So I had six. I had planned to stitch on 6 of my whips that I took with me into 2025. All with different plans, but I'll again talk you through it while we are talking about each of them. So let's start with the oldest one, and I'm going to just go in the order that they're written down on my sheet of paper here. I decided to stitch on Host of Poppies by Encore every single month in 2025, so I could finish it in December. It is my current oldest whip from 2023, I believe, maybe 22. I started it for my mom on her birthday, and it's going to be a gift for her when it's done. And I was planning to stitch 2,000 stitches on it in January, and I managed to stitch a little bit more than that, about 2,300. I've got all of the scroll frames here, so I'm trying not to drop anything. So I've made quite a good progress, like I said, on here, and here's where I am with it today. I'll just show you the section that's been stitched. Yeah, so I have I don't remember how many days I worked on it. I feel like for a good like a week and a half probably. Somehow this one was taking me a bit longer to make progress on, but I'm almost done with the left top corner. You can see there's only a little tiny bit left, most of which is going to be half stitches, which means it's going to go a bit quicker. And then there's a few empty spots here where I'll have some French knots added later. So I finally got over 50% on this. Like I said, it's been a long time in the making, and hopefully sticking to my plan, I should be able to finish it this year. I am stitching this on 32 count witch linen in color cream ivory, just a light sort of off-white, and I'm using all of the Encore flosses, and they're just lovely. I think it looks Absolutely stunning. I'm hoping my mom will love it when it's done. I'm sure she will. I feel like it looks better in person than on pictures as well, so yeah. There's a lot of green here. So the way I tackle these usually, this is not my kind of stitching anymore. I used to love sort of landscapes and you know, big almost full coverage designs, and I've fallen out of love with these, and I'm mostly stitching things with not full coverage, with sort of some characters or specific places or samplers of things. So the way I tackle these, because it is a bit of a, I wouldn't say a struggle, but it is a bit of harder work for me than say stitching on a Mirabilia. I choose the color in my cross stitch app. I choose the color that has the biggest number of stitches left, and I sort of go from the most widespread color to the least and try to fill it in that section, and that gives me some steady progress. So host of poppies plus 2300 stitches, which is fantastic. I'm hoping that because I'm just looking at it now, I have stitched extra on a few of the whips. February obviously is a shorter month. I also have a plan. I also have a trip planned for the first 2 weeks of March, which means I probably won't be able to film a February update for you at the end of the month, and I'll see you most likely in March. And then also my plans will have to shift a bit. I'll see if I'll be able to take some of the stitching with me, but yeah. So I'm hoping that because I did a bit of extra in January, that will cover me a little in February and March. Next project I was planning to work on and add 2000 stitches is, I'll insert the picture here again. This is Siri by artwork by Hannah Alexander, charted by Ashley May of Make It Pink. She is a character from the Witcher universe and is my biggest whip, I think ever, not even currently, but ever. She is going to be about 75,000 stitches when she's done, and she's gorgeous. I'll be very honest with you, this month was a real struggle with her. Let me show you and then I'll talk you through it. So here is where we are today, and I have gotten over 25% mark on her. It's really good progress. I only started her in May last year, and since May last year, I don't think I have skipped a month on her. Maybe one, and then I caught up anyways. So she's a biggie. That's why I'm trying to stitch on her every single month, including this year, in the hope that I'll be able to finish her within 3 years of her start. So what I worked on this month is, because I took up a lot of the cross stitches in December, I had a lot of spaces to do backstitch on, including the metallic on her boots on both sides, some of this metallic in her, I don't know what they are, scarves, skirts, and this metallic, this backstitch on the metallic on her boots is no joke, because the metallic is kind of duochrome, where it's golden brassy to black. It's lovely stitching with it, but then once you're done, it's really hard to see the grid of stitches because there are so many fractionals as well. So doing fractional backstitch on top of it was really difficult. It required a lot of concentration. However, she is looking absolutely stunning. I started working on a different metallic floss here in her knee armor, and this is one of the Cryonics that ends in C. So it's a cord type, it's thicker and it's more sort of round rather than flat. It's number 4 as well, and I'm stitching 1/2 as I'd tested before I started her. However, I found that this one was much more difficult to work with than the brown in her boots. So what I found worked for this metallic is taking a larger needle with a larger eye, so size 24, and then once I thread the needle, I needed to tie a knot on the top end of it. so that the thread wouldn't get all, you know, loosened and fly all over the place when you're going, you know, back in and out of the fabric. Yeah, again, this is a kind of duochrome. It's like a silvery gunpowder gray, and I cannot imagine doing backstitch over that, but we'll get there when we get there. And what scared me as well is when I had a look what else is being stitched with this metallic on this design is, I'll insert the picture here again, I hope you'll be able to see. She has this absolutely gorgeous chainmail all over her shoulders and hips, and it's going to be stitched with this metallic. It's fractional backstitch as well, and I'm not looking forward to that. That was going to be a challenge. It's going to look gorgeous, but I'm going to need some meditating and some calming music, and I don't know what else to get through that. So I did stitch 1,000 on her and then put her aside with complete confidence I won't be getting back to her until February. I got so annoyed with all of the metallics, like I said, with all of the fractional backstitch. I cooled off for a couple of days. I was chatting with Lera, who is stitching Link, and I decided to pick her back up, and then we were video chatting, and while we were doing that I stitched this bigger chunk of the leaves here. I think did a bit here as well. Did some more of the skirts. So I've tried to alternate doing complicated backstitch or stitching with metallics with stitching with just regular cotton flosses. So I'll warn you once again, if I haven't already, we were laughing about this with Lera because she's been working on Link longer than I have on Siri, and she's had these issues with Link before, and she was getting annoyed with me, sort of being so excited and saying that this is just a walk in the park. Well, it's not, obviously. And this time when we were chatting, she was like, this is what I've been telling you. This is exactly what I mean. It's not an easy design whatsoever. So I'm going to warn you once again, it has so many fractionals. When I say it has fractionals, like, it's a lot. If you don't like backstitch, I wouldn't recommend stitching these at all. I am someone who loves backstitch, but even I struggled with this because it's fractional. There's so many colors. Some of them are 1 strand, some of them are 3 strands. I've swapped the 3 strands for a thicker one, but still, some of them are metallic backstitch. So it's quite a project. I do love her though, so I'm going to power through, find ways to, you know, if I'm getting annoyed, put her aside for a couple of days, calm myself, work on something else, and then come back and make more progress. But yeah, 2,000 done. I'm really, really glad that that happened. Next project I worked on is I think my only current dimensions kit. I have a few in my stash, but I don't have any more in my whips, I believe. It is Purity, Strength and Truth, a gorgeous Buddha statue with some cherry blossoms and lovely bamboo shoots. And I started this in 2022? No, looking at the wrong whip. 2023. So it's not as old as some of the others, but still, I wanted to make sure that it was given extra love, and this is one of my planned April starts. I am stitching it on the... I'm stitching with all of the kit materials except for the fabric. And let me show you where I'm at today. Gotten caught on my leggings. So here's where I am today. This is my only one on a clip-on scroll frame, which I don't love because they don't hold tension as well, but I ran out of scroll frames that are sew on. So this is Purity, Strength and Truth. I've swapped the kit 14 count Ada for 28 count Quaker cloth by Zweigart in color Mocha. It is a blend of linen and cotton, and I really like working on it. It's very, very soft. But because it's 28 count, the weave is quite loose and it's nice and easy to stitch, especially in 5-6 strands here in the half stitches. So let me have a look. How well did I do this month? I had planned to do 2,000 stitches on it, and I did do that. And I think again we got over 50% on this one, into even 56, which was fantastic. I worked mostly on Buddha, finished, I think I finished everything neck down. So I did all of the stitches in here. I did almost all of the back stitch. I think some of the top back stitches still missing. I added more half stitches here and went up, same on the other side, and I think I stitched a little bit of the flowers as well. So this one, obviously being a dimensions design, it uses a lot of different strands, from 1 to 6 depending on the stitch, and I really love working on this. This is a needle minder I got as a magnet, actually, just a fridge magnet, as a gift from my sister when she traveled to Thailand, I think. And it's a ceramic elephant, and I do love elephants, so it felt like the perfect needle minder for this. Plus it kind of matches the color scheme. So there's my Buddha. I love this design so much, and I can't wait to have it stitched up and FFO'd on my wall. It's looking like we might be having like a Japanese design wall in our living room. I do stitch quite a lot of those, so this was nice and easy. I enjoyed working on it a lot. Again, if I get bored of the kind of beigey colors in the statue itself, I can swap to the half stitches in red or green, and yeah, have a bit of fun with that. Next was my Christmas whip. I'm trying to think if it's my only one. No, it's not. It's probably one off. It is my only Stony Creek in my whips though. And it is my second oldest whip, I believe. Yeah, the only other one from 2022. This is 12 Days of Christmas by Stony Creek. I started it as a series of Christmas starts at the end of 2022. I had finished everything else. I think this is the only one left. I am stitching the version with all of them together on one piece of fabric, and I was planning to add one more day to the design in January. I've scrolled it up a bit so you'll be able to see some of the other days. It's looking better and better day by day. So here's where I am today with this. I think last you saw, I don't even remember if you've seen day 9. So day 9 was stitched. No, you haven't. I stitched day 9 on 30th and 31st of December, after I started getting better slightly after I was ill on Christmas. And till the last day of December, I thought I wasn't going to be able to finish this, and then I somehow managed to, by some miracle. So I finished all of the stitching except for the back stitch on it at the end of December. That was enough to cover the amount of stitches I planned for it for December. And then I did all of the back stitch on day 9. And then later in January, I stitched all of the day 10. So Lord's A leaping. Lovely designs. I've been really loving stitching the Lords. They look so funny. Yeah. I've kind of developed an algorithm or a path in which I stitch these to make it a bit quicker for myself. So I usually start with the green frame, then I do the red one. Both of those are hand-dyed colors. Sorry, I'm stitching this on 32 count witch out linen in Water Lily. This is the called for color but not the called for count. I'm using all of the called for flosses, which are DMC colors, plus a few hand dyeds, plus glisten gloss, blending filament, and I'm going to have one color of Mill Hill beads, I believe, that I'm not sewing on just yet because there's only a few in berries, so I'll do that at the end. So like I said, I'll do the green and the red, which are hand dyed colors. Then I'll usually go in and do the back stitch around the frame. I'll see if I can do the inner back stitch as well if there's no stitches touching the frame. Then I'll usually do the back stitch in the name of the day, and then I'll start doing the actual you know, character in there. And yeah, love these. They're so much fun. So the plan was to stitch at least one day, which this one was 1,260 stitches, or to stitch 100 stitches more, which is the average of how much I need to stitch on them to finish them in April. But because of the back stitch and everything, I managed to stitch 1,500, which again, great that I did a bit of extra because I don't know how much I'll be able to stitch in February and March. But yeah, I love this. You can see some of the top ones, and I've skipped day one, as I said, so that I wouldn't stitch, because I stitched the partridge first and I didn't want to stitch the same thing but in a miniature version straight away. So I said I'm going to start with day two and I'm going to come back around to it, which is what is happening. So I've only got 1, 2, 3 left and beads. That's it. So we are all steam ahead to finish this one in April. I love it. Like I said, it's my favorite combination of colors. I love the fabric. I am one of those crazy stitchers who loves witch-alt. The only thing is that I cannot find an appropriate frame for this. I was really hoping I could find like a second-hand vintage square ornate frame, not necessarily gold, but kind of just a wooden color with a bit of gold elements. And I probably just need to go thrift shopping because I've been just looking on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. This is a good one. I actually need to measure it. I'm going to have an opportunity to go thrift shopping in the next few days. So I need to make a note in my phone of the size that I need and then go do that. Somehow buying a new frame for this design doesn't feel right to me. I don't know why. It feels like it needs a vintage frame. So we'll see. I'm hoping, now that I've closed 3 corners, I can definitely see, you know, the full size of it when it's going to be done, and then I can get the frame sorted. Yeah, so that was great. Again, did a bit of extra on that. Next was my Owl Forest embroidery. Absolute love. And these are the garden carps. This is a recent start compared to some of the others. This is May 2024, one of my mania starts, and fallen in love completely. Just love. Again, my favorite fabric. Guess what? What's a lily? And I had again the best time stitching on them in January. And here's where I am with them today. There's a bit scrolled down as well at the bottom here. So garden carps had, again, we've gone over 50%. Yay. I did 1,700 stitches, which is exactly how much I planned. Maybe like 30 more than I planned. And this is being stitched on 32 count witch-alt linen in water lily. I think it might actually be the exact same piece of fabric as the one the 12 Days of Christmas are on. I think it's the cut off of that fat quarter, but I have more of it because obviously I'm going to stitch the cranes as well. So I have the digital pattern from their website, and then I downloaded Saga file from it. I had a floss pack as well. So these are Owl Forest flosses based on DMC, and I'm stitching 2/2. And I think the only color that doesn't seem to have any variegation is the white, and the rest of them do. So last you saw it, I think I had some of these flowers here with straight satin stitches. You saw the white fish, the white koi carp, and then what I did in January, I stitched completely the pink one, and I stitched quite a lot of these straight satin stitches in flowers on the sides. So I'm trying to go up towards the what is up there, the bridge, then the temple. So yeah. I am in love with these two. So yeah, this is my other, how many is that? So 1, 2, 3. So the 3 planned starts for April are Purity, Strength and Truth, 12 Days of Christmas, and Garden Carps. So again, I am on track. Again, touch wood. I am on track to finish all 3 in April, hopefully. And then the last project I worked on in January, which again was a pleasant surprise. And I have a bag for it somewhere here. I just worked on it yesterday. Yes, I do. The last project I worked on was my architectural memorabilia, I call it. The Goddess Garden, which is a design by Memorabilia, inspired by the fountain in the Botanical Gardens in New York. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous design. The cover does not do it justice. And this is, again, one of the recent starts. This is a start I did just before my birthday in November. She is being stitched on my hand-dyed fabric. Let me see. I've got threads dangling off here because, like I said, again, I was just stitching on her yesterday. Oh, there we go. She is being stitched on my hand-dyed fabric, which is 32 count. No, it's not. 30 count. What I suspect is what are those names? I think it's some kind of French linen. So it's 30 count linen, over dyed with teal red dye, and I was planning to only add 1,000 stitches to her in January, but I needed some time to cool off from Siri. Then I was doing something else, and in between things I managed to actually stitch 2,000. This was so nice and easy to work on. I had an absolute best time with her, with the fountain. I'm stitching it with all the called for materials because I got a pack off eBay, and these are DMC colors. Well, DMC colors are from Stash, and the specialty flosses and beads were in the pack. I had finished everything in the pool under the statues. I've started on the base of it. I think started stitching on both the statues. They are different shades of green, which I absolutely love, obviously. And then I've gone on stitching the frame as well. So the frame is being stitched with a Karen Watts Lily Espresso, which is a gorgeous, it's just so multicolored. There's a bit of teal in there. There's mauve and dark gray, and it's just a lovely, lovely color. If you are going to kit it up and you're on a budget, if you are going to spend money on any of the silks here, I would say get the espresso, forget the rest of them. So the pine forest is only being used in two what are they called, 2 rows here, and in a few stitches at the top of the fountain. The glacier is only being used a little bit in here. Again, you can sub it with a cotton one from your stash, just a variegated light blue to light purple. I haven't used Olive Grove yet, so I don't know about that, but espresso is so worth it, and an absolutely gorgeous color. I haven't started beading on her, as you can see, so the bead pack contains a few colors that are size 8, and I have beaded as I went before, but I only used size 11 beads in that case, and I was worried that even if I had felt strips, size 8 might be a bit too big and it might leave dents in the further layers. So I was kind of in this decision paralysis last night, and I've decided just not to bead her yet. Maybe when I pick her up in March again, I will decide if I want to just do size 11 here, omit the bugle beads as well, go up, and once it's all done, then add the larger size and the bugle beads, or maybe I'll just do beads at the end completely. We'll see. I love this fabric as well. I haven't said anything about my needle minders. So these ones, we went on a trip to where was it? We went on a trip to Buxton in December, which was lovely, and we were in a store that was selling some of these ceramic buttons, and I've bought quite a few, and I made needle minders out of them, and I just felt like this one was perfectly matching this project. So absolutely love this one. So like I said, stitched more than double the planned amount, and I'm really happy about that. So on to my February plans then. I actually have a start in mind that I would really like to make, but I am conscious February is a shorter month and I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. I'll see how it goes. My plan is the same as for this month, to stitch on these 6 whips, except my fountain will be swapped for my other memorabilia in February, which is, again, I have the bag somewhere because I started working on her today, which is Miss Dancing Flower. I couldn't fit both of them every single month, so I decided to at least alternate them, do January and March on Goddess Garden, and then work on Miss Dancing Flower in February and April. So yeah, she's already on my scroll frame on my stand, and I'm already working on her. So yeah, again, I had only planned 10,000 stitches for February. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, January was very productive in terms of stitching, and I managed to do almost 14,000, which is a lot for me. I think that's probably the most productive I've been in the last year. I think I had a month in 2024 when I stitched approximately the same, but that was about it. So yeah, I'm hoping to work on some of the smaller designs as well. I have, like I said, quite a few small Mill Hill kits that are a couple hundred stitches at most. I have a few snowflakes, a few, like I said, of the smaller designs. So I'm hoping to do some progress on those as well. That's in terms of stitching. Let's talk about my purchases, my haul I had since the middle of December. So I'll probably show you things in a bit of a random order, but it's a tiny pile. I found a few lovely Mill Hill kits. Again, having gone through my stash of Mill Hill, kind of animated my love for them, and I found a few more kits that I would like to stitch, and one of them was the Magic Wanda, which is a lovely black cat that is a witch in this lovely autumn Halloweeny scene. Has lovely colors. I have the Jabs button, as you might see by the note here, and I'm definitely going to stitch her one autumn. I got 2 pieces of fabric this month. Again, this is an eBay purchase. This might be a bad habit, but when I have nothing to do and I'm a bit bored, I'll go on eBay and check for deals and interesting listings and things, and same with Facebook Marketplace. I found this beautiful linen by Pole Stitches called Witching Hour, 32 count. Again, I think I found it on where? On eBay, like I said, or Facebook Marketplace. It looks like the night sky or space, the Milky Way. It's like a dark navy blue with purples and blacks and lighter blues. Just a fat quarter. Lovely color. I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch on it. I just got it because I really loved it. Then you might have heard me talk about my other Owl Forest whip, and I'll insert the picture here, which is the Woodland Spirit that I started for my birthday in November and had a sale for it as well. I mentioned on the whip parade that I don't love the combination of the fabric that I dyed for it with the with the over-dyed flosses. I feel like it's too busy and they just get lost in each other. So I think I'm 99% decided I'm going to do a restart, and I've been trying to find the perfect fabric to restart it on. I thought I could find something similar to the one on the cover photo, and in that search I got this beautiful color. It's not going to be for this, but I'm definitely going to use it for something else. So this is Petrol Casual Linen 28 count by Zweigart, and it's this beautiful emerald green teal. I don't know if it's a limited edition. I got it off Lakeside Needlecrafts, I think, if you want one. And they have Lugana in this color as well, I believe. I just don't stitch on Lugana. But yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not going to work for Alfor's, but that's why I got it. And when I saw it, I thought it could be perfect for, it could be actually really good for the start I'm hoping to make in February, or it could be perfect for a mermaid or a different fancy lady, or if I decide I want to swap paper in a Mill Hill kit for linen, because 28 count is the perfect sub. So that was it for fabrics, and then I got a few paper patterns. So like I said to you, I got a lot of Barbara Anna designs on Facebook Marketplace. So you saw the Santa's Flight. I also got Santa, the Dove, and the Key. They're all in lovely packaging, so I don't want to glare too much. Christmas is coming. Look at that Santa riding a snail. So adorable. Now that I think of it, I might just do the Santa with the snail and not do the whole like castle thing he's dragging behind him. We'll see. And two Halloween ones, which are beautiful. So this is Halloween The Moon Laughs. And I haven't even opened it yet, but it does look like there's two options in there to do the single, or rather two colors, or do multicolored version. Love this. And the last paper one is The Witch, the Crow, and the Pumpkin, 1692. Again, it's something about Santa's riding birds and animals or witches. And then because I started the Santa's Flight, and like I said, I've been eyeing this one for ages. I've had it in my wish list for literal years. I also went over to Creative Poppy and got two digital patterns of hers. So this is Christmas Hair by Barbara Anna, and like I said, that long strip of linen I'm stitching Santa's Flight on is going to be for this one as well. And then I've been looking at her Halloween ones, which I find absolutely adorable, and I totally fell in love with this one, and it is Hocus Pocus, and I felt like I needed to get both. So most of the ones I got, I think, are stitched in DMC, but Hocus Pocus uses hand-dyed flosses, so I feel like it's a perfect opportunity for me to use my stash, which I'll be very excited to do. I also got two patterns in the mail the other day. So this might be something you didn't expect from me. I actually didn't expect it from myself. I've been watching a few stitchers who are working on this design, and I have fallen in love with it, and I'm not going to stitch the whole thing, and I'm still working out what exactly I want to stitch from here. But I got Samplers Not Forgotten English Garden. I've seen stitchers do this sort of bottom row and some of the roses on the side. And someone else is stitching French Garden from the same series, but English Garden felt closer to my heart. So I don't think cover picture does it justice either. It's quite large. There's variegated flosses in there. It's going to be beautiful. You need to see it on video at least. But yeah, I've decided I'm going to sort of cut and paste it, see which parts I like, and just stitch those. It's a big one, but I'll make it more manageable. And then I've been looking at Jeanette Douglas designs in the last few weeks as well, having stitched two in the last couple of years, and having gifted my friend one, I fell in love with this little guy. This is Chubby Bird, and it's adorable. She's a little tiny bird, again with acorns and flowers and acorn leaves and oak leaves. I always say acorn leaves, I don't know why. She's so cute. So if you saw my finish parade, you saw that I used these sort of wooden boxes to FFO two of my Jeanette Douglas designs on. This one is the one without staining and without me taking out this top thing. So I was thinking, if I stitch it on a small enough count, if I get brave enough to try 40 count, it would perfectly fit on top of this box, and I think that would be wonderful. It's got quite a few darker colors, so I think with dark oak as a stain it will still work pretty well. It looks lovely, so adorable. And she's got a few in this series. I gifted my friend a chubby bee because she loves bees and everything to do with that. I think I've also seen a chubby squirrel, but yeah, those are adorable. And the next thing I'll show you is 3 kits. So one of them is a gift for myself and 2 are a gift from my family for Christmas. So just before the end of the year, I treated myself to a Shepherd's Bush kit. This one is called Harvest of Plenty. I am a sucker for autumn in general and in stitching, and so when I saw this, I just couldn't resist. It's got all of the classical Shepherd's Bush elements. You've got sheep and fruit and birds and hearts, and I love it. It's going to be stitched on this lovely sort of sand color linen. It's a kit, like I said, so there's the silk colors, and then I've got a few little buttons here as well. And then I got 2 kits as a gift for Christmas from my family. So this was a gift from my husband, which is another Shepherd's Bush. I've been loving this one since I saw someone stitch it on YouTube. And this is a full heart. And I think this one uses quite a few specialty stitches, including some straight satin stitches in the these quilted stars is one of my favorite elements. And it's just so green. And I love the combination of the green with these purple flowers as well. And anything I can finish on top of a round box, as you might have guessed, is an absolute must. It is going to be stitched what looks like, I'm not sure if it's platinum or it's natural linen. Lovely colors, a lot of green, like I said, and a few buttons as well. And then the last kit I got, this was a gift from my mom-in-law, and it is a Mereshka kit. It is my second kit, but I haven't stitched them yet. So this one is called December. I love apples, I love poinsettias, and we have a water can in the garden and a lot of birdies that the cats love to watch from the safety of the windowsill. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful colors. I think this is only some of them, not all of them. I think it's going to be a big one, I suspect, but yeah, I love it. I'm actually looking forward to stitching this. Definitely not a soon-ish start, but you know. And then the last bit I'll show you is on our trip to Buxton, we managed to drop by a lovely bookstore, and I found 2 wonderful books. One of them is a cross-stitch book, so it is Home Sweet Home by the Vanessa Ann collection. Try to see the year here. No. And I loved it, and I decided to get it because there's a few designs here I really like. So there's this lovely scene with the 4 seasons on this side, and then the patterns are really good. Some of them are slightly smaller, some of them are larger. They are black and white, simple patterns, easy to read. I mean, I'd scan them and make a digital copy anyways, but yeah, if you are going to stitch from paper. And then I really love this. This reminds me of a tiny chatelaine. And I think they're just doves sitting on a tree. Maybe, or maybe peacocks. My favorite has to be this hardanger design here. Just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if I would stitch it all like this, or I would incorporate cross stitching into it, but yeah, was definitely a wonderful purchase. And then the very last thing just left me in awe. It is the Japanese quilts. It is not a book with patterns. It is a book with photos of finished quilts, and it is just incredible. I have not properly quilted yet. I have started my first one. I haven't finished it yet, and I haven't been looking into quilting much at all, but I had no idea this is something you can quilt. So I'll just show you some of them because they're absolutely stunning. Some of the quilts here are just insane. I just can't believe somebody can make this. What I really love about them is that a lot of them use what it looks like more sort of Western style block cutting and blocking, but then the patterns on them and the quilting on them is usually it usually uses traditional Japanese embroidery sashiko. So this is absolutely stunning, and I got incredibly inspired by looking at these. And I've been definitely, I've been definitely inspired to pick up my own quilt, and just ideas are being born to possibly do something similar someday. I want to show you one that's my absolute favorite that, again, blew my mind, which is 1,000 Buddhas. I just couldn't believe I just couldn't believe you can make a quilt like that. They just look so detailed and so intricate. Oh, these are gorgeous too. Just look at this. Beautiful. Yeah, I am stunned and incredibly inspired. Where are the Buddhas? Some of them are technically quite easy, I can see, because they use very sort of easy geometric patterns, but the way they're laid out, and again, the stitching on top of them, is what makes them so special. I mean, they're just something. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So I don't think I've ever gotten a craft book before for inspiration purposes only. I usually buy cross-stitch books so I can cross-stitch out of them, or magazines for the same reason. This book is definitely an incredible source of inspiration that I'll be looking at to get into the spirit of crafting and coming up with new creative ideas and making something of my own. So that was my Stitchy January and my haul over the last probably 6 weeks. Like I said, am not sure when I'll be seeing you guys next. I might film a video at the end of February that cuts February short, like I said, because I'm planning a trip for the first 2 weeks of March, and I won't be able to take things with me there so I can film it. I will definitely be back in March so I can show you what I stitched in February if I hadn't filmed a video by then, or what I stitched in March, and I'm planning to make some stitchy purchases there as well, and I know I'm getting some stitchy gifts, and I'm bringing some stitchy gifts to my friends as well. I'm getting ready for the so I'm going to see some of my stitchy friends on their trip, and we're exchanging some gifts, and some of the time in February definitely will be spent on me making those gifts because I want to make them some project bags. So yeah, the last bit I will talk to you about, probably just a couple of minutes, is what I've been up to in terms of life and sort of other extracurricular activities besides stitching. So I've been gaming a lot more. I've been playing video games. I finished replaying Witcher recently, Witcher 3 again, I mean, and started playing, I finished the Stonehearts DLC again and started playing Blood and Wine. I love that game. I've restarted it a million times, but I think I've like refinished it only second or third time, so that was brilliant. I got Horizon Forbidden West as part of my Christmas gift from my husband this year as well, so I started that. I only got into it just a little bit just because I didn't have the time, but it was lovely. I have been playing Cult of the Lamb with my husband. That was a lot of fun. We finished playing Last of Us, and when I mean we is he was the one playing on TV and I was stitching on the sofa, so that is the perfect combination. Of the things we watched, what did we see? I've been just rewatching some sitcoms while I'm stitching besides Flosstubes. I found December quite overwhelming in terms of Flosstube because of how many daily videos were coming out, so instead of trying to catch up with all of those, I've decided to just skip ahead and start watching, you know, whip parades and finish parades, and those have been lovely. And yeah, I don't think there's anything super exciting that we're watching at the moment. Oh, we finished watching second season of Arcane. I dragged my feet on that one, I'll be honest with you. I was just worried that the ending was not going to be as good, and so I was stalling, but we managed to finish that, and now I loved it so much I want to rewatch the whole second season again, just because we rewatched the first one before we started watching the second. So yeah, what are we looking forward to? I think The Last of Us Part 2 HBO show is coming out soon. I'm hoping we'll see Love, Death and Robots season 4, I think, sometime soon. I've heard some rumors and speculations, so that will be really exciting. I think I've been playing a lot of video games on Christmas holiday. I think there was a day when I played like 5 different games in a day. Yeah, I also love, there's this little kind of strategy based game called Northgard, which was a lot of fun to play. So yeah, loads of good stuff. I've been trying to put my Lego set together. I have one big one, which is the tall neck from Horizon, and this is all I managed over Christmas holidays. So he's missing his front legs and the head and the neck as well. So, but that's progress already, so that's good. So yeah, January was really busy with a lot of stuff, and yeah, some exciting things going on as well, and I'm hoping that I'll be back to you very, very soon to share more of my stitching. I hope you had wonderful January and are looking forward to stitching in February. If you like this video, please give it a like and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you if you have made any strict stitchy plans for 2025, if you're following them, how your January has been, if you're also stitching from stash with Rosie from Rosie in the Rockies, or if you're just doing, you know, stitching whatever, whenever, which all of those are fine, obviously. I thank you so much for your time. Hope you'll have a wonderful February, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.